He's in Indonesia right now, so he just gives us a little update here and there.
Oh, so is he going to be part of the show?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
nice.
just going to be a quick call. We're all going to chat with him. Like my brother is the international director of marketing for Circle K, the convenience store.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's a big wig.
Wow, good for him.
I'm the creative one. Yeah, he's cool. You love him. He's nothing like we're polar opposites, but he's really groovy. And whenever I say the Bob Dean Show, it's a very unenthusiastic.
Yay!
Throughout the whole show, whenever we say, here on the Bob Dean Show,
Yay!
And there's no rules or I know a little bit of your histories with acting, and we're going to talk about that. Anything that you want to bring up that I don't, that you want to touch on, feel free. Go, hey, I'd like to bring this up. My website, where I'm going to be, what's going on, your kid, anything you want to do, just bring it up.
Great.
There's no rhyme or reason or anything. I went on IMDb. I wrote down some of the stuff. I've got some points about what I've seen you in, and we're just going to talk.
Great.
It's just like sitting around talking, except without the gin and the cigarettes. All right, so get this set up so I can dial Greg right away. Oh, are we streaming yet?
We're live.
Oh, we're live! Yay!
Wow.
Welcome everybody to the Bob Dean Show.
Yay.
Coming to you live now, streaming live on Facebook and onto YouTube from the fabulous Sunset Strip in Hollywood, California. Again, it's the Bob Dean Show. Yay! Sorry we're a little late today because the construction on Sunset Boulevard, where they're building yet another hotel.
Where?
Right across from whatchamacallit.
How did we miss it?
I don't know how you missed it, but the traffic was backed all the way up to Beverly Hills. And you know that whole block's coming down from Holloway/San Vicente. The Viper Room's going and everything. Yep.
Really?
For those of you out there, the Sunset Strip.
Oh, I still love going to the Viper.
Yeah, the Viper Room where
Viper
what's his name,
Joaquin
Phoenix?
Phoenix
Joaquin
passed
Phoenix
up.
lost his life or died
No,
right in
River
front.
did. Joaquin's still
Oh,
alive.
sorry. Oh my God. Sorry, Joaquin.
I was gonna say it wasn't.
Joaquin's
It was
fine.
River.
You know what's crazy?
Well,
Can I say something crazy about that? I
Yes,
think that was
please.
like October 30th or 30th,
It
somewhere
was
on
around
Halloween.
Halloween.
Yeah.
Or it was
We were
Halloween,
just,
I think.
we were at a friend's house drinking. We were just getting ready to go down because we used to go down every Friday.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, let's go to Viper. No, it's going to be crazy. So we were just about to go down there. Like with 4 guys. And then we just decided that I think everybody drank too much, so forget it. Then we had the TV on. We found out that the poor guy just fell
Yep.
over on the corner.
Yep. And
Right
well,
in
it's a
front
good
of
thing you missed it.
Sunset.
It would have been terrible. Christine
yeah, if I
Applegate
would've
was right
seen
there
it, I
too.
would've
Wasn't
probably
it?
lost my mind.
Yeah, well, it's a shame because those of you that out there in Bob Dean land, listening around the world at this point now, yay, thank you, and watching. Yeah, that whole block's coming down for another.
crazy.
Well, it's soon enough, all the Sunset Strip's going to be nothing but hotels. There's not going to be anything to do, but just like Vegas, the Strip in Vegas, there's not going to be anything to do but go from hotel to hotel. And so our guests today, along with Dennis Alsin and Samee Junio, and Zach Herndon, yay, and Zach Herndon in Bloomington, Indiana. Kathy St. George, ladies and gentlemen, our lovely co-host. She is recovering from a little accident. We talked to her in the car on the way here. She's doing well. She's doing good. She did suffer a fall. She's still blonde and beautiful, and her sense of humor is there, but she is healing. And we love her and we miss her. Hey, Kathy! And as soon as she's up and around, she's going to be good. We have Rebecca Field and Raff. And how do you pronounce? I've known Raff for years. He's my good friend and buddy, but I can never pronounce his last name. Anoushian. And their lovely daughter, Fenny, who is off camera over here.
Yeah.
She is 4 years old and just adorable. Yay! She's got headphones on, so she doesn't know we're talking about her. She's watching a movie right
say
now.
bad words, she won't know. Smartest thing she ever thought to do.
Now, before we get down to talking to the me, we're going to make a quick call here, a little call in. We got to do it on speakerphone. And our special, is it on speak? Calling guest is really a surprise because it's, do I have to hold up the mic?
Yep, thank you.
It is actually
A surprise.
Ron and Janine Kirk, live from Dallas,
No
Texas.
way!
Yay! I told her we were calling. Hi, Janine and Ronnie. I told them that we were calling my brother in Indonesia because my brother travels the world and these suckers fell for
Wait,
it.
so we're not going to call you brother? I was interested in that.
Well, you can-
We're not even quite halfway to Indonesia. We're just about 1,900 miles away.
So what a surprise, huh, y'all?
Yay, we love rum and
yeah, I
Junio.
was really thinking you're calling your brother.
Me too.
I bought it.
Well, the irony is that I've called Ron about 20 times in the last few years, and he always calls back, but I get his voicemail.
Everybody does.
Right, and today I just picked up the phone and I dialed, and he answered the phone, and I was like so flabbergasted. I think I had a mouthful of peanut butter or something. I didn't expect him to pick up. What's up, kids? How are you?
You caught me in the middle of a nap.
Oh,
It's
somebody's.
good. It's raining here, though. We
Oh,
missed
it is?
y'all.
Well, we miss you too, and it's been raining here too, unseasonably. It rained almost 2/3 of the day yesterday,
Yeah.
and it's been raining for a while. Fortunately, the slides haven't wiped out the suburbs like we've been praying that they wouldn't do. But yeah, we've had a lot of rain in Los Angeles, which is crazy.
Which is good. We need it.
I'm so over the cold, I'm ready to start complaining about how hot it is.
Well, honey, Dallas is just like Nashville. You get a lot of rain, and it gets cold in the wintertime, and then of course that humidity. You get your lovely little bit of spring, and then that humidity sets in. Gotta hate it every
Oh
time.
my goodness. We had our air conditioning, we were using our air conditioning earlier in the week, and literally the next day it was in the 30s.
No shit.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what everybody. Like my friends in Ohio and Nashville, that you had that. They had that vortex.
Polar vortex.
Polar vortex, and then it was in the 60s a couple days
Yeah.
later, and then it's snowing, then it's raining. I don't know, global warming. I believe there's such a thing.
Yeah, I don't think there's an. I don't know. I think there's a.
Snow and mountains today.
Yeah,
You
this
what?
is
Snow?
gotta wake up.
Snow in Maui.
Yeah, it snowed in Maui today.
Yeah, it's snowing in Hawaii.
Yeah, that's crazy. I saw that on the news this
Yeah.
morning.
And oh my goodness gracious! And it wasn't that Miami snow, huh?
No,
Ooh.
it's funny.
So what's new? Y'all doing okay down there in Dallas?
We are doing good. It's great to have all the kids together again. It's like old times.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. We miss you guys. When you coming out for a visit anytime soon? The big topic is Wolfgang's. You know, I'm not supposed to be discussing this, but fuck it. Wolfgang's is.
We've already heard the rumors, so.
Yeah,
Can you give us a
it's-
little rundown?
It's rumor and innuendo, you know, but it's since they're blasted all over these fine publications like the Hollywood Reporter and the Beverly Hills Courier, where the headline was allegedly Nate Niles is moving in, but honestly, Ronnie and Janine, we have no idea what's going on. There's some big changes are coming, but we just don't know. They told us nothing. Lydia was cool. She told us about, which I admire about, because a lot of restaurants, you know, they just close up and they
Yeah,
don't
that's
tell
sad.
anybody anything.
No, until
And
last
she
second.
she prepared us several months ago, and told us that they were in negotiations with the landlord, and also looking aggressively looking for another space in Beverly Hills, and that's all we know. We've heard nothing else, and you know, so we know that. But I believe the second week in March the lease is up, so something's going on, and you know, you hope for the best, prepare for the worst. So.
I heard you guys are shutting down the last day in March, possibly moving somewhere else, and Nate Niles is moving in too.
Right,
Yeah,
it's the
that's-
same rumor we heard too.
That's the strongest rumor as it is now, yeah. So they're looking around, which is fine because, you know, you ran that place for years and you ran it and it was fun. And you ran it successfully. But you know how huge that place is, you know? That back room
Yeah.
just sits idly. So it
I
is
don't know how Nate Niles is going to fill it, but maybe they got other plans. But
that, maybe
yeah,
there's
it's a
some,
big place.
say again, I'm sorry.
That's a big place. I don't know how Nate Niles is going to fill it, but maybe they've got other plans. Maybe they were going to put like a bigger deli in there somewhere. Or,
Well, that's what. I'll give you the Yenta rundown that I overhear because at the bar is, oi, what are they gonna do? Tear out the bar and put in a deli counter here? That's ridiculous. So, seriously.
One thing that I hope, because as you know, we all have fond memories of Wolfgang, is I told Raj that, oh man, if they move, they're going to have to take those toilets with them, because I have a lot of fond memories of those bathrooms.
Hello.
I know those toilets.
Oh,
And for
yeah.
those of you that don't know what
loud.
Rebecca and Janine are talking about, and in the men's room too, there are what these $10,000 Toto toilets that do everything but wash the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They squirt in multifaceted different directions with warm water,
They
hot
have-
water.
They have it in the
Guys,
men's room
let's
too.
cut
Yeah,
to the
they're in the
chase.
men's room too.
They spray
so-
your butthole and everything else with warm water to rinse off the pee pee and the poo poo.
With a heated seat. And it's got a heated seat. Which is
It has a disco ball.
Yeah.
You do one thing walking around Wolfgang, because everybody had a clean butthole.
That's right. But you know what's funny though is
Squeaky clean.
there was a time there when those things needed a little servicing and they just didn't quite get around to it soon enough, and it was like a Stephen King movie. You walk into those private facilities and those toilet seats and lids would go up and down like yang, yang, I dare you to sit down, I dare you.
That's scary.
I
That's
remember.
scary.
It's like you excuse yourself from the table and you'll say, they'll say, I'll be right back. And I'm like, no, you'll see me in 15
Easily.
Good
Well, look,
15.
we love you guys. We just wanted to call and say hi and let you
Miss
say
you.
we miss you guys.
We miss you guys too. We love you. We love you.
It's your turn to come out.
Yeah, you guys have to come here now.
Raph and Rebecca say it's your turn to come out, and I agree.
Yes, it's your turn now.
It's our turn.
Yeah.
Love you guys so much.
Love you too.
Love you too.
Okay.
Guys.
Love you too.
We love you guys. Take it
Yeah.
easy. Watch out for them tornadoes. Bye.
Bye.
See where I'll have one. See,
It's so funny. Back when
fooled
the
y'all,
subject-
didn't I?
Yeah, I was really thinking of Thailand. What's this guy? We didn't know these. Back in, I know this is good. Back on the subject real quick. When I worked at Wolfgang's in the early years, I'd say this lady must have been about 85 years old, walking in with a purse on her arm, walked in. She didn't look very happy walking in. On the way out, I'm not kidding you, she kind of walked out like this. Her glasses were a little crooked. She had a purse on her head. She came out looking around like dazed, like, where am I? Confused. Purse hanging on her arm. She walked back to the table with a big grin on her face.
How long
I
was
was
she in
over
there?
towards, you know the computer, you know where the hostess stand is? There's a computer right behind that wall, right where it goes right outside. the patio. Right there, I was standing there leaning, and I saw her walking in all grumpy and upset. And about 10 minutes later, she came out. I mean, pretty much her glasses were like this.
Hair all messed
She,
up.
yeah, she looked great.
You know, that is so wrong. I got to tell you a similar story, except with a boy. When I first started there, and I was working as a server, and I was working lunches, and this one guy would come in with his, I guess the kid was maybe 14 or 15, and they'd come in twice a week for lunch, and that kid would disappear as soon as they walked in the door. As soon as they walked in the door, and I'd go to the
15 minutes.
table and take a drink order, and 15, 20 minutes later, the kid would come back out, and I was just like,
Oh, God, I should make it a pay toilet.
I looked up one of those things. They're about $5,000.
yeah, they
I
are.
was gonna get one in our house. I'm like, oh wow, I'd never leave the bathroom.
Well, a certain good friend of mine, Melanie, has one in her home. Like
That does it, yeah.
the day waitress. Well, she's also an accomplished singer and composer and writer, but she slings a couple shifts during the week.
Nice.
And she's got a beautiful home in Sherman Oaks, and we went over there on Christmas Day
Yeah.
to her fabulous party, and she's redone her kitchen and put in a new bathroom.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's one of
She
them
did one
damn
of those, yeah.
$10,000 toilets in there.
Yeah,
Pretty
it's
nice.
crazy.
But on top of that, though, she doesn't have any window coverings. In her
Bathroom?
Mel, I was wondering about that. Okay, you two, let's talk about you two. You love birds and your beautiful daughter over there. How long have you two been married?
We're not married.
We're not.
You're not?
Nope.
Well, how long have you two been together?
11 years?
11? And
November will be 12. Yeah.
you're from New York City.
No,
You're not?
no, Philadelphia.
Hi.
As a kid.
It says on IMDb you're from New
Oh, I
York.
don't know why they did that.
Because I thought you were from Philly.
Yeah, I
Because
lived
I'm
there
from-
as a child, as a kid though. We lived there for 3 years.
What part of Philadelphia? Because I'm from.
Drexel County, Drexel Hill.
I was born in now historic Levittown.
Really?
Yeah, but my dad moved us to Tennessee when I was 12, so I call Nashville my home. But yeah, I
Oh
lived
yeah.
in
Well, see, I came here since I've been here since I was 7, 8.
Oh,
8.
in LA?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I only lived there from the age of 3 to.
Yeah, same
Oh,
kind of the
4,
same
4
thing.
years,
I've
yeah,
been back in
5
40
years
some
old,
years.
yeah.
But isn't it weird? Because I've got people peg the dialect when I'm at the bar immediately. They're like, "Are you from Maryland, Philadelphia, Jersey?" And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, I can tell you're from somewhere.
Just like that, but-
Something you say,
But
like
then
water.
sometimes after
Yeah.
a couple,
There's like certain words
after
you
a
say
couple
that
of
are
gins though, you
so-
start talking Nashville though.
exactly.
That's
Thank
the thing
you.
about
2
it.
gins, or if I'm around anybody from the South, and it sounds like I'm from Hooterville.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
Right.
it'll go from like Philly, Maryland, all of a sudden, how you all doing from Nashville?
Now, what
Tennessee?
about you? Where's your
I'm from Massachusetts.
Massachusetts?
Yeah.
Worcester?
No,
Western.
Western Massachusetts.
Western.
Berkshires.
The Berkshires, the beautiful Berkshires.
It's very
the
beautiful there.
Cultural Berkshires.
And is your family still there?
Yeah, everyone is. Yeah.
And now, what did you came to Los Angeles to pursue your acting and directing?
I
career?
did. When I
Yes.
was right after I finished college and did summer stock theater, and then went to New York and did a training program there for the summer Circle in the Square, and then I stayed home for a year and worked 2 jobs and saved money because I wanted to come to LA, and then I moved to LA
All by herself.
Wow,
all by myself.
I'm proud of you.
It
I
was
swear, I really am.
Awesome.
I came to LA I came at 44 years old.
I'm proud of you. That's impressive.
Wow,
Yeah, you know, and I knew two people, Clark and Dickie Trainer, my friends who live out in Agora Hills.
That's amazing.
I take that back. I'm sorry, to Sean and Steven, what's your last name? My, my friends they're like my really close friends, like family, and I can't remember their last name. Striegel, the Striegel brothers, Sean, Steven, and Scott Striegel.
Brain fart.
And by the way, I'm sorry about your mom just passed. I'm sorry about your mom. But yeah, the Striegel brothers department store, these two buddies of mine, Scott, Steve, Sean is the producer of Forged in Fire, that show on History Channel about the guys who work with steel, that reality show. And Steven is a rock band. And anyway, blah, blah, blah. They lived on the next block from me over in West LA. She's
Hang
all
on
right.
a second. Sorry.
Okay, that's okay. Rebecca's going to step aside for a moment. I used to call it Striegel Brothers Department Store because they had this gorgeous 3-bedroom townhouse I live on Stoner, by Stoner Park, and they live 2 blocks away.
Oh.
And they're these 3 dudes, you know, and they'd be like, hey man, you know, you want to come over, but you want this bed, and all this brand new furniture and shit that they never touched. And when they moved out, I'm like, I'm going to miss Striegel Brothers Department Store. But anyway, the point is yeah, I came to Los Angeles not knowing anybody.
Wow.
Yeah, me either. It's scary.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
did,
but
right?
you were just a child though when you came out. You know, what,
Yeah.
22, 23?
Yeah.
Wow. What did you drive out in?
A silver Honda Civic.
I love asking
Yep,
people
just
that.
me and my mom. It took us 4 days. We drove out and yeah, and I remember she stayed with me for about 5 days. Well, I got my apartment set up, and then I had to drive her to Burbank, to the airport, and then get back from Burbank to West Hollywood all by myself with my
It was a
Thomas
Thomas guy,
guide.
right? Yeah.
I was like,
Exactly.
"Ah."
And for those of you that don't know what that's the first thing when you move to this town before the invention of Waze and all
Yeah.
that crap was a Thomas guide, and it was this, and it's a map of every street in the town, and that's how you got around. And you know what? These stupid Google things and all that. I for those of you that I auditioned for America's Got Talent on
Yeah.
Saturday.
Oh, you did?
I did.
What, did you do your comedy stuff?
Yes,
That's amazing.
And I got to tell you, I mean, for what it's worth, I don't mean this to sound like a jerk or whatever, but a lot of America doesn't have talent. There were like 5,000 people there. But the point being, though, is that, you know, I was there, I stood in line for 8.5 hours to do 90 seconds, and it was bizarre because the time went by like that. But when I was leaving, because I just technology and I do not get along at all, and I went to the Google Maps in my phone, and I'm in Pasadena, and I'm right in the heart of Pasadena, the convention center, blah, blah, blah. I get in my address, Stoner Avenue, 90025, and I'm going, you know, speak it, talk it, do this, do that, right? And I couldn't get it to give me the directions verbally. So I figured out, once I get to the expressway, I'm fine. Anyway, blah, 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 blah. As soon as I get to the 10, and the loop at the 10 and the 405, it starts talking.
Of course.
And I'm like, I know where I am now, shut up. And I kept pressing buttons, and
I didn't
it's
know
like,
where I was on
it's
all
like,
those
you
side
know,
streets in
turn
Pasadena.
left, turn right. Your parking space is 3rd in the garage. I'm like, I know.
No shit.
But where was your first apartment in West Hollywood?
It was in like Fairfax, Santa Monica area, off of Ogden.
Oh, yeah.
Ogden, yeah.
Yeah, West Hollywood is totally cool. And you guys are
Yeah.
what? You're in Sherman Oaks now, right? Are
Yeah,
you still in
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, when you moved here, where did you? So you grew up here. Where did you go to high school? What part of town did you grow up in?
Glendale.
Glendale?
Where all the Armenians are, yeah.
Yeah, seriously, they
No,
sure
no,
are.
When we moved to Glendale, nobody knew what an Armenian was. My teachers would read my last name, Anoushian. They're like, what is that? I'm Armenian. They're like, where is that?
Well, there's a
70s,
A teacher
nobody
didn't
knew.
even.
Nobody knew where
Oh my
Armenia was
wow.
in the 70s.
because there's a huge Armenian.
Now, the one saying-
well, that because a lot of Armenians moved there then in the last 40 years,
In
right?
1977, there were probably 10 Armenian families in the whole city, if that.
Well, I wonder what drew all the Armenian
Churches,
churches.
Armenian churches, because somehow they realized, hey, there's enough Armenian people here, we should go to church. So Armenian people are weird. They'll go to a city that has Armenian churches.
Well, Glendale's beautiful. I mean, I haven't been there. I haven't spent a lot of time there, but when I first moved to town, I had some friends that lived in the area, and of course, being lost with my Thomas guide.
Yeah.
But I mean, the neighborhoods and that sort of thing that back up onto the hills.
Yeah, when you get up in the
Beautiful,
hills, yeah. Once you
yeah.
get up Chevy Chase Canyon,
Yeah, gorgeous.
very nice houses up in the hills, yeah. A lot of my friends lived up there from high school. It was fun, I loved growing up there. I mean, geez, when you learn how to drive in that town, all we did was drive everywhere.
Cruise
too.
around, yeah.
So I knew all the ins and outs, all the back road, you know what I mean? So
You know who else lived in Glendale? I know that you're not going to know who this is,
John
but
Wayne?
Mildred Pierce.
Who's that?
That was the
A fictional
character,
character
a
from a
fictional
movie.
character that Joan Crawford won the Academy Award for in 1950.
Really? So that character was based out of Glendale?
No, it's a character whose husband left her, and she struggled, and then she opened up all these restaurants,
Oh.
and
At the beach.
yeah, and blah blah blah, and but she started off living in Glendale.
Wow.
It's just a little TV
There's not a lot,
movie
there's a lot
trivia
of
history.
John Wayne grew up and went to same high
Oh,
school.
did he really?
Yeah,
No
Marion
kidding, he's from
Morrison.
Glendale.
He played football. He got a scholarship to USC.
And what was your high school?
Glendale High.
Glendale High.
That's right.
And who else?
John Wayne was one. Another famous. We were talking to Madeline Stowe.
Madeline Stowe. Now I
Really
know.
pretty brunette.
Yeah, but she's an older. She was around. She's an actor from the 50s.
No, Madeline Stowe. We just watched a movie with her in it.
What was that random movie? It was with
It was
like
Unlawful
Kurt Russell.
Entry. Yeah, Kurt Russell, and she's done a lot of movies.
Ray
She's
Liotta
done something
and
with Kevin Costner too.
Love me some Ray Liotta, except for that Chantex commercial now.
I know.
You know.
Well, I think he's
I've been a huge fan. Well, I've been such a huge fan of his, and one of my favorite movies. Of course, everybody loves Goodfellas, but did you ever
Yeah.
see the one with what was it called, with Whoopi Goldberg years ago, where he plays it's a
Oh.
period piece in the 50s.
Yeah, it's called Karina.
Karina.
I love
I
that movie.
love that
Ray
movie.
Liotta was in that?
Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah,
it-
I remember the movie.
it's, he
I never
plays
saw
a
it.
dad, and it's
And
a
they have a love story. Hand in
yeah, they have a
hand.
love story, and it's very touching. And with the involvement of I can't remember the actress's name, the little girl, but it's a great movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
But now he's doing that Chantex thing. Well, let's talk about y'all's careers now. One of my favorite stories is Raffy. When I was going on what us actors do is we go on LA casting, and and look at into.
Oh, yeah, I know what
we're
you're
lucky,
talking about.
we're fortunate. We have management and
That's
agents and that sort of thing. But we still go on, and it says looking for. Now Raff works at one of the classic. We both sling drinks. We're not on set. When the three of us aren't on set. We have these
Two of
other
us
jobs,
sling
and
drinks, yes.
Raff and I sling drinks in two of the really, pretty cool places in Los Angeles and
Yeah.
West Hollywood, Beverly Hills. And in our little circle, there's Wolfgang's, Dan Tana's, Craig's, and what's the other one? I was going to say Wally's, but that's really not. That's actually the
Yes, I'm Wally's.
But I mean, our circle
Mastro's,
of
yeah.
Mastros.
A lot of Mastros.
Yeah, and like on the few nights that we go out anymore,
Yeah.
right? That's what we'll hit. We'll go to, you guys will come to Wolfgang's,
Right.
or we'll go to Craig's
Well,
to
we
see
did
Cindy
before,
Bell or whatever, or Dan Tana's, But Dan Tana's is an Italian place that's been there since 61. 64?
Yes.
And it used to be a house, you can tell, right? Wasn't it a freestanding
Oh,
house?
before that it was.
Because there's that fireplace in the front that always, if you look at it from the street, but it's
Yeah.
a teeny tiny little place.
It is tiny, yeah. I think it's like 1,200 square feet.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was. It was more of a. It was Sharky. It wasn't called Sharky's. It was called some. It was a pizza spaghetti place before.
But I mean,
that.
originally it probably had to be a
Probably
private
the
home.
30s or 40s.
Yeah.
Not, yeah.
And it's right next
There was
to
a
the
junkyard
Troubadour.
next to it.
There,
In the 50s, there was
Really?
a junkyard next to it.
on the left side.
If you're looking out the door,
Yeah.
like to the street, yes, if you walk to your left, it's a building now. It's like a property management building or whatever.
But it was a junkyard. I
I
saw,
think so.
no
I saw a
kidding.
picture. I saw a picture where they had a chain link fence.
I'd
and
love
a
to
bunch
see
of old
that.
junk cars there. When they had the railroad tracks going down the middle. When they had trolley.
Yeah, the
going from
streetcars.
East Hollywood all the way down to Santa Monica.
Because the Troubadour's been there since, what, 71?
70. Yeah,
That's a very
74.
famous rock and roll club.
Yeah.
But I saw on there, and it was a posting for need a bartender, the salty type. Think Dan Tana's. And I called you up,
Yes.
for Smirnoff Vodka. And I called you up, and I'm like, "Hey, dude, and you got
Yeah,
the
I
card, too?"
called my agent and said, "Hey Tracy, do you know about this and that?" She said, "No, I don't know. I'll look into it." And she said, "Yeah." So I went in. They told us to dress like where you work. So I wore my red Pantana's jacket.
Yeah, your jacket.
And I went in and they're like,
That's great.
they're like, just state your name. There's like 6, 7 of us lined up. I said, state your name, and tell us where you work. I said, hi, I'm Raff Anoushian. I work at Pantana's. And the director goes, what? You work at Pantana's?
Yeah, sure.
So he didn't say much. It got kind of quiet, and then they asked me a couple of questions, but everybody in there was kind of, not tense, but just a little quiet. I said, look, I'll tell you what. if I get this job, whoever hires me is responsible. The drink's on me forever. So everybody laughed. So the group of guys that walked in, there like 6, 7 of us. One guy's like, I don't bartend anymore, but I used to. Blah blah. So as we walked out, one guy looks at me and goes, "Man, you're gonna end up getting this just for saying that."
Hello.
Nobody else was really energetic. Nobody said anything. I just went in there with a big loud mouth and just said all that. And then they called a couple days later, and the director's like, "Yeah."
Well, they were probably thinking, you know what? We like, Bachelor number 2, and then you come in and go, "I'm a bartender there." What are they gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're a kick-ass bartender too.
Well, I asked him. I said, because Mike obviously has been a dentist for 50 years.
Yeah.
And I said, well, what about Mike? And he's like, he was too old. They wanted someone not quite that old.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted someone probably about 20 years younger than that.
Well, let me tell you something, dude.
Plus, Mike would have done it anyway.
I haven't booked anything in a while, but my manager, Christina Scott, is great. I love her, and she's terrific. She sends me out a lot, and the point is now I'm getting these things for what?
He needs a manager.
Oh, do you?
He's looking
Oh,
for-
I'll hook you up with Christina. She's terrific. I love
I
her.
just need someone to give me a little more push. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, she sends me out all the time, and the thing about it is that now I'm getting cast in these like
Dads and stuff.
65 to
Yeah.
75 years old.
Let me
And
tell
they're
you
all
something.
for things like wah wah.
Yeah,
And
let
they're
me
all
tell
for
you
these
something.
things
The
like
last-
those for medications, like
Yeah.
Cereva ready. Oh really? Shit like
was this-
that.
Flomax.
Yeah.
Which actually I could use. But anyway,
No,
TMI
you say
ball,
that.
TMI.
The last few I've been going in, I just feel like I'm like, am I at the right place? Because everybody in there is like 65 and over.
and you know what though? The thing
So
that
they
I
want
should
one
feel
50-year-old
good though.
guy, and all.
It must be my headshot because I'm getting new headshots in the week in 2 weeks. I'm getting some new headshots and through Christina. The point being is that because I don't want my other photographer Catherine to think I'm kicking to the curb because I love you, Catherine Farnsworth. She's fabulous. Anyway, what was the point? My one headshot. It's a great shot, but I guess I look older because I get to these things and I should feel good because I do look like 10, 15 years younger than the other guys.
Right.
Yeah, same
But
here,
I still have
that's
just as much trouble getting up out of the chair when my name is called.
Oh,
right,
Ozempic.
Let's talk, right? Oh, what's that one? Ozempic. It's on like every 2 minutes now. And I really analyze them now. These people are like, I could lose up to 12 pounds. Won't cause diarrhea. Oh,
I
God.
know.
Let's talk about you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
Good
you.
stuff over there.
I'm telling you, you're hot. Well, first of all,
Oh,
you're
thanks.
very talented. You're very talented. Well, first of all, you're a great gal.
Thank you very much.
I met you years ago before I knew that you were such a fabulous actress. I watched your reel again today. I looked at it a long time ago, and I was in tears with the one with you and Billy Malone, our mutual friend, Billy
Yeah,
Malone,
yes.
from
on Grey's Anatomy. Because I had seen that. And what's really neat, it's the same thing with Billy Malone too, who I've been trying to get Billy and Barbie on here, but they're always so busy too, like you guys. I mean, I'm so glad that, seriously, because you guys' schedule is so packed all the time. Thank you very much
Yeah,
for
thank
working
you.
in,
Yeah, no
some
problem.
time to come to the Bob Dean Show.
Yay.
Today. It means a lot. But it's neat to turn on the TV and you're there. Whether it's primetime drama, Mike and Molly the other night, there you are, Miss Jill
Oh,
coming
they
out.
showed that one?
I have a thing for man cowboy, babe. Your southern accent was
That was
so
very
natural. It was great.
I do like
And
to
you're
be
just in
Southern.
everything. I've jotted something because I've seen you in Mike and Molly. I've seen you in Kittens in the Cage. I've seen
Oh,
bits from, and I
yeah, that
really
was
want to
fun.
see that. That was fun. Was it fun?
That was really fun. This amazing actress and now turned director, Jillian Armanante. She was in North Country and Girl
Yeah, a ton of
Interrupted.
stuff.
Mhm.
She's done, her Judging Amy, she was a series regular on her resume is outrageously long. And she's terrific, but she wrote this with a woman. It was originally a play up in like the Pacific Northwest in Seattle or something like that somewhere. And she adapted it with this other woman who wrote it into a screenplay. And we shot it to be a web series, but shot it, like a full-length feature film, and then she chopped it into web episodes.
Mm.
But it was just great. It was like, I used to remember, it was a while ago now, but it was like Crybaby meets something. It was kind of like over the top
Wow.
and campy. Oh, I know,
Yeah.
like Crybaby meets Orange is the New Black. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
cool.
But set in the 50s, that kind of thing where it's like,
Juvenile Hall.
yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, you think you're a tough slickster, huh? Like
Yeah,
that kind of like
greaser.
over the top usage
Yeah.
of weird 50s kind of words.
Oh man, we're writing that down
It was
right
really
now.
fun.
Popcorn
You- I
in my
think you can
South
get it
Park
on
pajamas and
Amazon
kittens in a
Prime.
cage.
Yeah, I think you can still see it on Amazon Prime or iTunes. You can buy it, but it was really fun. That was fun.
Well, now, of course, all the Scudder around, seriously, around our circle and Los Angeles and around the country is your appearance in Star is Born.
Yeah.
Tell
You're
us.
very nice, but I don't think all the Scuddles around my appearance.
Well,
did.
no, I should say,
Around
in
Star is
our,
Born, for
well,
sure.
around Star is Born for sure,
Yeah.
but in our circle of friends and in my family, I know.
We had an interruption,
Baby's
sorry.
getting a little cranky. That's
Sorry,
okay.
guys.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
She was a big deal, and she's great.
She's terrific.
Yeah.
And she's a terrific person.
That's
too,
what I was
yeah.
going to. It's funny too. It was he goes to
Yeah,
Bradley
Bradley
Cooper's
Cooper's
assistant.
assistant.
I like working with those guys.
I mean, you know, like, just, you know, you never are wanting to be an actor and hoping those things to come true. I still haven't reached that I've set for my working with A-list actors like that. That's like, that's been the goal all along, is to be in their, oh, it was unbelievable. They were so down to earth, just shooting the shit about, and Stephanie was great, and Bradley was great, and Sam Elliott was amazing. He's probably, they're all terrific, but highlight him as though they're less than that. They're not, but he was probably the most amazing person I've ever
Really?
worked with. Yeah.
Yeah, I've always been a huge fan of his.
He's just a real cowboy. Like,
Mhm.
he's just a real down-to-earth dude.
Well, he's
Talks
done.
to the janitor the same way he talks to the head of the studio. When he's talking to someone, he is genuinely engaged, looks in your eyes, and really is asking questions and cares.
And
the
cares
answer
what
is.
you have to say
Yeah.
and how you
Oh.
feel.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
He's-
pretty cool.
He's
Making regular appearances in Grace and Frankie, right? Is that?
I
That was
think,
definitely her-
yeah, he
Yeah,
plays
no,
her
I mean,
boyfriend.
but
He's
you
a
make-
regular on The Ranch for Netflix.
Okay.
With Devin
Okay.
Winger.
Well, and now tell us
So
about.
he did
I did
great.
great.
And
And then on an episode of Shameless, I played a construction worker, and then
then I
she did it
yeah.
again. We've also been on the client list together. Well, that was kind of a
But
gimme.
yeah. But then what was the other? There was another show that you ended
was
up
one
not
more.
doing because they cut the little part. But
Oh,
you
Lie to Me?
Lie to Me. Yeah.
You did lie. She did a show called Lie to Me. I actually booked it, and then they said, you know what? They decided, because you have one line, they just decided to cut the part.
Isn't that cool though? They
Yeah.
all do
I
this-
never actually shot that one, but yeah.
But yeah, Shameless is great, as he could attest to as well. Great.
Very good.
And what are you,
political.
Liza? Or-
I play Eliza.
Eliza.
I play the new assistant manager at Patsy's Pies, where Fiona works. And if you saw last night's episode, spoiler alert, but I end up taking over as
Don't
manager.
say.
That's a surprise.
That's in case
Spoiler.
people have taped it.
Well,
I
this
said
doesn't come out till
spoiler.
Friday.
Yeah, so
Yay.
it won't be a spoiler by then.
This doesn't
If
come
you're
out
that
till
behind
Friday.
on your television.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
That's great.
yeah, so it's been really fun. I have 2 more episodes that are still left to air, and
Well, the thing that was cracking me up too on your reel today was that episode with what was it? What's the? See, I'm getting all jumbled here. The real you played it was a Lifetime show.
the client list.
Well, with Jennifer Love Hewitt,
and
and it's
Shepard, yeah.
it's the opening credits, but it's on your reel where you're following. I don't know who the kid is in the house, and
Oh, I'm following my husband in the house.
Oh, was
and
it your
I
husband?
Cheated on
yeah,
somebody,
and the chick
right?
with the tramp stamp gets out, and,
Yeah.
and you're like, you get out of the car, and you're so pissed,
Yeah.
and you're
That
like,
was
give me
fun.
something to batter the door down with,
Yeah.
and she's like, and Jennifer Love Hewitt's like, shouldn't you just knock first? And you're like, okay, good plan, knock, then batter the door down.
Yeah, that was fun. We had great chemistry. We had a good
That's
time
right.
on
You
that
remember
show.
saying that she was fun to work with and a nice
Yeah,
lady.
she was one of my
Yeah.
great friends at the time. It was really fun to
Cool.
work on that show. Yeah, yeah, we had fun.
Yeah, I
I
still
don't know
want
what
to
else.
watch it. It was really a lot of
It
fun.
was. It was like
Yeah.
we had a great group of people. I was so grateful.
Yeah,
I
very
mean,
tight.
it's so hard in this business, as you Bob and Raff,
Yeah.
and maybe you, but it's to be a series regular. It's impossible. Like, not impossible. Nothing's impossible. I'm an optimist, but it's very difficult to be a series regular
Absolutely.
these days. And so I feel very fortunate that I've
Well,
done it. a
but
couple
it's
times,
also
so
you are fortunate, but it's also because you're talented.
Thank you.
And to start off with in one episode and have the audience, first of all, love you and not recognize your character and the way that you build and own your character enough to where the writers want you to come back in and then back in and in and in.
Yeah.
Kudos to you.
Thank you, sir.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
I'm
Thank
so
you.
proud of you. That's great.
Yeah. I like watching her. I mean, people always go, "Oh, she's so great." She is. I mean, I'm not
You
saying
are.
that-
You're just
I'm not saying that
well.
because we're partners, but
But
yeah, I
seriously,
like watching her
for
work.
those in the audience of the Bob Dean Show, yay!
Yay.
You can go to IMDb and look at Rebecca Field, or do you have a website where people go?
I don't have a website yet, but you can. My Instagram handle and my Twitter handle are at rfieldma, and I'm Rebecca Field is my actor page on Facebook, if that's still relevant anymore. Facebook, but
Well, both of these two, as you look at their, let them their
No,
faces sear in, and
what's your Twitter and Instagram?
yes, that's
I
my.
don't know.
Your Twitter's at Raff Anoushian?
Yeah, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Me
yeah,
neither.
sure. is that
I have to
right?
look at my card.
I'm Raff Anoushian on Twitter, but I don't.
My Twitter is the
sorry to say,
Surly
but I'm
Comic.
not on Instagram. And
I'm
I
on
don't
Instagram. Instagram I do now. It's Bob the Surly Comic, but Twitter I never tweet. I don't.
Really, yeah, I have
Yeah.
an account, but I don't really use it much.
Yeah.
Well,
But I am in a Speedo on my card. if you
Oh
can
my
see it.
goodness.
You're in a
Have you ever seen my Speedo commercial?
no,
You've
Oh,
got
boy.
to
It's
do it.
awesome.
It's my best work, Rebecca. You got to look at it.
I can't.
How can we see it?
Yeah,
Where can we see it?
it's a on my website, bobthesurlycomic.com. I'll tell you all about it after we
That's
get. How much
hilarious.
time do we have?
Have you been working
10.
out?
10 minutes? Okay, you know what? We're going to do one thing for fun since we're on speaker. Let's
Yay!
see if we can get Billy Malone on the phone real quick.
That'd be fun.
Let's just see if he happens to answer. Who's that?
Oh, how
Fidel?
you guys doing? What's
Look
going
what
on?
Ron
What
just
is it, our
texted.
movie?
Huh? What happened?
Ron texted, "Who's that Fidel Castro looking motherfucker?"
Ah!
Talking about you.
Dog!
That's some guy that wandered in. I'll
Yeah,
tell you
the
all
hat
about it.
too, yeah. 'Cause
That's my
remember
partner,
earlier,
Dennis
you know,
Alsin.
what-
You're gonna
Yeah.
love
Love
him.
that.
Okay, we're gonna see if we can get a hold of Billy by surprise, and then we're gonna play a little Just Jump. How's that
I
sound?
love it. I don't know what it
Just
is.
jump?
But it sounds
Oh,
great.
we'll find out all about it. Let's see if we can get a hold of Billy Malone answers the phone because he's gonna go, "What do you want, knucklehead?"
We go.
Is that how it answered?
Yeah,
I'm
we
tired
love
of
some
it.
Billy and Barbie. They're just the
They're
coolest.
the greatest.
Billy Sell. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to try and call Billy Malone, who is another actor and friend of ours, and he and Rebecca have done some things together.
And his super talented wife.
And his
Barbie,
super
who's a-
talented wife, Barbie Kligman. Well, Billy, at least you put, this is Bob Dean calling from the Bob Dean Show.
Yay.
I'm here with Raff and Rebecca. And
Hi,
Dennis.
Hi, Billy.
Hi, Billy.
And we wanted to call and surprise you, but I guess you're on set or something. But you are, now you're finally on the Bob Dean Show. We're streaming live on
Yay.
Facebook, so you can go back and
Yay.
look. See, now I'm pointing and we're talking to you. So you and your super talented wife, Barbie.
Yay.
Now that Rebecca and Raff have been on, you got to get your, you know what? You guys should come on with these two in
That'd
a
be so
future
fun.
episode,
Yes,
okay?
please.
Anyway, we're hanging up now. Love you guys. Bye. Oh, and housewarming. Let's do it. They just bought a house, you know.
Oh, you did?
Yes, and they're having a
Congratulations.
pool.
No, they did.
They did.
Oh, that's
Oh,
what
me?
you did.
Oh, please.
Oh, congrats.
Listen, I'm glad I saved my 1991 Buick Roadmaster station wagon because I'm going to be living in it soon enough. Seriously.
We have an extra room, Bob. You'll be
Oh
okay.
my God. No, it's really a pretty roomy station wagon. It seats 9. I think we could fit in
Nine.
with five. We have 5
Maybe we'll
cats.
be coming over and staying with you.
Right? Seriously. Let's play some Just Jump. Now, what it is, it's the 1957 Amy Vanderbilt Guide to Etiquette. And Dennis reads questions, and the panel, we try to answer. So, Dennis, what are we going to play?
Just jump.
So do we have to jump?
No, he's
No,
good.
she's committed suicide by jumping.
She jumped out of a window. So that's Dennis.
That's the, oh my God.
Okay, you guys have to guess
pushed her away.
how she answered it
Okay.
back then.
Right.
How do a man's bow and a woman's bow differ? Is it ever proper to refuse to return a bow if you're a woman?
I'm going to say she said no.
No.
A man's bow.
Oh, well, how they differ too. I didn't say that.
A man's bow is
Bent at the waist.
bent at the waist and arm, front and back.
And a
Or one.
woman's bow would be
More of
maybe
a
one
curtsy,
leg
right?
behind and a curtsy,
Yes.
or a
Right.
little
A
tug,
curtsy,
tug
yeah.
of the skirt
Right.
and a gentle bend.
Right.
Yeah.
And the guy should
And-
bow back, but the lady doesn't have to.
Okay, and is it ever proper to refuse to return a bow if you're a woman?
Yes.
Is it
I would say she
No,
has
I say no.
the right. No? Okay.
I don't think a woman has to return one. I don't, right?
I would say back in the day, it probably was frowned upon for women not to return a bow. But
You know what? I think you're right.
I don't know.
Okay, a
maybe.
man's bow is a modification of the deep bow he learned as a boy in dancing class. When presented to a lady, he bows first slightly from the waist, eyes on her face, then steps forward, awaiting her tender hand. If she makes no offer to shake his hand, he keeps his own at his side. A lady's bow is a slight inclination of the head, usually accompanied by a smile. She follows her bow to a man with the hand clasp if she wishes. No one properly refuses to return a bow.
Well, what do
So
you
you
know?
don't
Wow.
Right.
confuse. I was right
Well,
about that.
if you took a step at a lady now and went like that, she'd probably slap the crap out of you.
Well, yeah.
Or maybe at a Hollywood nightclub, but not at the Beverly Hills Country
They just
Club.
might be confused. I don't think people
Yeah,
have those kind of
yeah,
manners.
yeah.
That's what I mean. That's
What
precisely
the
what I
hell are
mean.
you doing?
Next question.
I thought, oh, okay. Another one. When a match is used, should a man light his own cigarette first and then his woman companions? If a lighter is used, is this still true?
He should light hers first.
Always.
Always. And then his own.
Even with the match?
Both.
Yep.
Because I would think maybe not because of the sulfur.
Oh.
Good point.
Good point. I didn't even think. Wow.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
but
gonna
when
go
you
with
light
what
the
you
match,
said.
But you
you're
light
supposed to
it,
let that
give it a
in the
second for
first
that.
Yeah, if you
Good.
give it a
Then
second,
go
it'll burn
with
the
it.
sulfur
Right.
off.
Ladies.
Then, yeah, I would think you'd
I
do the
still think
lady
it's
first.
both. We'll see what she says, but I think it's both.
A man lights his woman's companion's cigarette first, but he holds the match until the flame is clear and free of sulfur fumes.
See? There you go, Dennis. You did it.
In a high wind, he lights his own cigarette first, then he lights his companion's cigarette with his own lighted cigarette if he does not have a lighter, or if the lighter does not work in a high
In a high
wind.
wind, yeah.
Using a lighter, he needs merely to hesitate long enough to be sure that the flame is adequate, then he lights his companion's cigarette.
Now, if that isn't anything to further encourage the habit of smoking cigarettes, nothing is. I still smoke, as you can tell.
I know. Shame, shame.
I only smoke because it makes me look cool.
Well,
But seriously, I can do one cigarette a day, if that.
oh, that's good.
Oh, unless I'm
Really?
drinking, then I can't do one without the other.
I
I'm a
could do
total
that.
yo-yo.
I could do that. I can't just have one.
Mm.
But I quit before she was born.
Oh, good for you.
Cool.
That's right.
I didn't
That's
want
right.
to-
I
She,
Me too. I used to smoke too.
did you right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
You're not missing nothing.
I know.
I don't.
Seriously.
I don't miss it now.
I don't miss it.
I love it after a meal. I love a couple of drags.
Once in a
But-
blue moon, if everyone's out drinking or doing something, or I'm at a dinner thing and have a couple glasses of something, I'm feeling a little
Yeah.
loose. It starts to smell a little better, and I'm like, oh,
Ah,
But isn't it the
I'd be
nastiest
fun
thing
to
in the
have that.
world,
But
though?
when
Yeah.
I'm not, no.
It's the
So what
nastiest
it
thing.
could do to
It
you
does.
on the
It
inside,
stinks.
yeah, that's the worst thing you can
Yeah.
do.
And like I'll sometimes I'll light a cigarette in the morning, and like the first drag, it's like, and then the second, it's like, what the. But I'm like,
Yeah.
well, these things are $12 a pack now, so I'm not going to put it out. I'm
12.
going to break the little.
Yeah, it's
$12
crazy, isn't
a
it?
pack.
Uh-huh.
they're like 20 something in New York.
Yep.
Yeah.
What?
They're
That was
12
5
bucks
years
a
ago, they
pack.
were
Yeah.
20.
Like $17 in Vegas.
I used to
Oh
take
my
when I
gosh.
in Nashville, I would take 2 packs of cigarettes. I had this donkey, this plastic donkey that shot cigarettes out its ass. I mean, you hit the ear, and the tail would lift up and
And it-
gently
yeah.
push a
That's
cigarette
awesome.
out, and they
I
fit
wish I had
Camel Wide
that.
Lights purple. You can get one online.
Yeah, this
And I modified it
more.
where I broke the little thing off, so when you hit the ear, the cigarette would fly out. And people come up to the bar. This is in Tennessee, almost 20 years ago, and people would be like, "Can I get a?" The people that are like, "I quit smoking, but I only smoke when I drink." Can I have a? I'd go, "Yeah, you can." And I'd make them put their hands. This was at Mirror Restaurant, on 12 South, which is no longer there. And they'd have to put their hands behind their back, and they'd have to catch it. And I go, "Quick!" 9 out of 10 people. Okay.
Wow.
Now people come up to the bar and they're like, "Oh, can I just get one cigarette?" And I'm like, "Nope." And they're like, "Hey, they're $12 a pack."
Yeah, you want to give
There's
me
a
You
gas
give me a
station.
dollar,
There's
yeah.
a gas station right around the corner, and they're 14. And I only do that as a joke because I never take cigarettes to work anyway
Yeah.
anymore. So pack.
That's crazy, yeah. I can't. Can you imagine? I should smoke 2 packs a day. It'd be like $25 a day.
I remember when they were like 50 cents a pack.
Well, I don't smoke.
Well, that's when Mom sent me to the store for hers.
Oh, yeah.
I used to go in and buy my mom Merit menthol light 100.
100s.
Raleigh filter.
My mother was Benson. I had to do that in my act too with like 4 telephone. We're almost done here. When you had like a phone on the wall in the kitchen and a phone in the living room and maybe one extension in the master bedroom,
Yeah.
but like the phone would ring and I'd pick it up and it would be my Aunt Dorla or a friend of my mom's, and my mom would grab that phone and sit down and she'd go. She wouldn't miss a beat. She'd be like,
Yeah.
Which meant Rabbi Benson and Hedges, because this is going to be a long girl talk. She wouldn't go grab my smoke. She'd be like, with that
Yeah.
like, hurry your ass up. You know? All right, I think is there anything you guys want to add about, oh, by the way, I will be, this episode comes out on Friday, but I will be at Bar Lubitsch tonight doing a set with the Speakeasy Comedy at 7720. 7702, something like that, Santa Monica Boulevard, which really doesn't matter because, oh wait, that's right, we're live, so I should know. Bar Lubitsch, it's on Santa Monica. I think it's either 7702 or 7720.
What's it called? Let me look it up.
Bar Lubitsch. Yeah, would you?
Lubitsch.
Yeah.
I've been there before for something. I don't
Yeah,
know what.
it's a cool restaurant. They've got a back room. Oh yeah, I forgot. So yeah, I'll come down and say the show tonight. I'm gonna do some comedy.
Free cigarettes for all.
That's right. And you can, and of course we've topped 10,000 downloads on iTunes. Yay!
Yeah, what's it called again?
Bar Lubitsch.
Lubitsch.
It's all one word or two?
No, two words.
Bar space.
Bar space
Yeah, well-
Lubitsch. Lubitsch.
7702.
7702 Sunset Boulevard.
Santa Monica Boulevard.
Santa Monica. Santa Monica Sunset. It's all a blur.
Yeah, don't send them to Sunset.
West
They'll
Hollywood.
get the
Yeah,
wrong
sorry.
building.
7702 Santa
Santa
Monica
Monica
Boulevard
Thank
in
you.
West Hollywood, California. Doors open at 7. I'm going up early, so get your ass to the place. And our phone number. Well, it is
For Bar Lubitsch?
no for the Bob Dean
For the
Show.
Bob Dean Show.
Yay.
Yay! Is 323-300-4092. This is now. Don't let it confuse you because it rings and it goes beep and then it rings a couple more times and then it says the Google subscriber you've reached is unavailable. But that is the line for the Bob Dean Show.
Yay.
So please call us with questions, comments. Did we get any calls this week? One
Yeah, we got one.
from.
I just want to wish Bob a happy birthday.
Oh, thank you very much. Who was that? Did they say who it was from?
Mm-mm.
Well, whoever. My birthday is February the 26th.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let's hear
You
it
guys.
again. Maybe he'll recognize the voice this time.
Wait. Oh, was it you? Oh, thanks,
Wish
Dennis.
Bob a happy
Gee
birthday.
whiz, I was all excited. That
Oh,
was,
is that you?
well, we got one call from Dennis Alsin. Thank you.
Yay!
Want to thank Zach Herndon in Bloomington, Indiana.
Yay, Zach.
Yeah, Zach. He's part of our original crew. Who puts things up on my website, bobthisearlycomic.com. So y'all, please, I know y'all are out there listening. So 300. What did I say?
See, Nashville's coming out now.
323 300 4092. That's 323 300 4092. And so please call us with any comments, questions. And
Complaints.
speaking of my birthday, you two better find a sitter. Not
What?
on my birthday.
What day,
Okay.
what night?
I'll let you know in plenty of time because
Are
we
you
do.
gonna try to dance
We,
party?
and you two,
Make it
you
a
better
Friday.
be there,
Make it a
Junio.
Friday, make it
Sure.
a Friday.
No, it's a Sunday. Oh, you work on
He
Sunday,
works,
right?
yeah.
Well, then he can't come, but you can.
Yeah.
We
It's always the
meet
fun.
at the Abbey from 1 to 4
Dennis,
on a Sunday afternoon, and we drink
And
and
rage
eat
at
and
the Abbey.
dance, and then when all the
Yeah.
beautiful people start
Show up,
showing
we
up,
split.
we're like, let's
Split.
get out. But you'll know everybody there. There's usually like 50 of us that get together, and we have a ball.
Wow.
Last year, the bouncer did ask me to please
Put your
pull my
clothes back on.
trousers back up,
Wow.
and
One
I
of
do
the
it.
dancers snitched him off. She's like, "Hey,
Yeah, the
look at this
female
guy."
dancer was so jealous. I've got it on video. She's in the background.
Yeah,
and she's
he
up on the
overshadowed
go-go
her.
thing, and her little dude,
Yeah.
and it's hilarious
Oh,
because I got my cowboy hat on and I'm gyrating, and she's like,
Like, cause you pulled your pants down?
yeah.
What?
Well, the women were all like going, yay.
Yeah.
Anyway, what can I say?
Ruined
That's
all the
this
fun.
is episode 65. 65,
Wow.
episode 65. Yeah, pretty
Wow.
cool, huh?
Very
Of the
cool.
Bob Dean Show.
Yay.
I want to thank you
Yay.
guys very, very much for being here.
Thank you for
Thank you for
us.
having
We're going
us.
to keep
This is
following
fun.
your fabulous careers, and I love you both. And thank you, Dennis. Thank you, Samee. And that's